Oh, gorgeous.
I mouthed that with you. They can't see it because it's a video or
That's right.
audio and not a video. But
That's
anyways,
right.
hello.
Hello, darling.
Welcome to Murder with My Sister.
I'm Marie.
And I am Lisa.
As always.
And always, we
And
are
always.
your podcasting hosts for this evening. And I have a special surprise for all of you.
Know what?
It's our favorite type of episode today. What type? The type where we've already recorded. So I'm coming in hot,
Super hot.
primed and ready. I have
Just-
already had 2 drinks and I am ready to go.
I love it. She's warmed up, ladies and gentlemen.
Mhm.
Warmed up.
That prime handle has been pumped.
I love it. Is it nice in Chicago right now? Is it warm?
I told you,
Because I can
bring
hear
a
them
swimsuit,
screaming. Oh,
bring a parka, bring all of, like, it's night. It's like 60, 58 right now.
oh. So are
but
they
this
screaming in your
weekend-
house or are they screaming
No,
outside?
they're outside.
Oh.
They ride those goddamn bikes until the sun goes down. I'm getting to the point where I want to be like, vampires live out here, right?
No.
I know, I don't, but I kind of do, but I don't. That's Lisa with 2 drinks and our talking.
Wait, do you want to hear a vampire story?
Fuck yeah, I do.
All right.
Wait, real or fake?
Well, this was on the TikTok, and I think it
Okay.
was on TikTok. I can't
Is
remember,
it about
but it was
how many vampires are in Louisiana?
No.
Okay.
It's about a woman whose grandmother had these like really old gold coins, and they were in her jewelry box.
I
She
would love
said,
those gold coins, please.
right? She said that she had them since she was a little girl, and I believe she lived in Poland as a little girl, like back in the 30s, 40s, something like that. So the story goes that when Graham was a little kid, she was walking from her home to someplace, and there was a bat that had like an injury of some sort. It couldn't fly, like something like that. And it was on the ground, and she scooped it up and she took it off the path by this tree, kind of made it a little nest, but it couldn't fly. And then every night on her way from A to B, wherever she was going, she would bring food for the little bat, and it survived. And then one night she came and it was gone. And nothing. That was it. That was the end of it. And she was
trying
like,
to make this a beautiful story like you did with the
No,
Bachelor's
listen.
Grove.
no, listen.
Okay. I'm
So
listening.
then another night goes by and she's walking home and it's dark out, and there's a man, like a super tall, kind of lanky guy in like a top hat and cape or something like that, like dressed very well dressed or whatever.
They always are.
And he's just on the path, like in her way, where he's like in the middle of this little road or wherever she is, where she has,
Sidewalks were small back then.
right? Like where she was like, I can't
Sir,
like I have to walk off the
please.
path to get around him. Like he's blocking
please
the way.
do not make me walk in the grass with my boots.
And he, as she gets closer and realizes he's not moving, he walks up to her and he just says, "Thank you." And he shakes her hand and she's looking at him like he's crazy, and gave her these 2 gold coins. So Graham firmly believes that the bat was a vampire and she saved him, and he gave her the gold coins. And she kept those things till she died. And then her granddaughter found them. And that was the story.
How much were those gold coins worth?
I don't even know. Probably
Are
a
they
lot.
solid gold?
Probably so.
I really, really, really want them. Is this a true story or are you
I
fucking
don't
with
know.
me?
It was on the socials. It
What
was on the
socials?
like TikTok or something. It was a story on
Damn it,
on
this
one
is
of
AI,
things.
sis.
No,
Sis, did you
it was
just
a real
AI me?
person. It was
You
a real
AI'd me.
person.
You're I see your face.
They have
Everybody,
pictures.
no, everyone, my sister just got AI'd. She fucking dragged us all down there.
Look,
That was a great story though.
I want to
Whoever
believe that
wrote it, I love
vampires
it.
are
I
real,
really love that
motherfucker.
story. That was a
I
kind
like
of a
it.
interesting
And yes,
spin
I
on
think
an
that
old
there's a lot of
story.
vampires in New Orleans. So there.
Louisiana. I didn't say New Orleans. You
Whatever.
did.
It's
Is
part
it
of
New Orleans or
Louisiana.
New Orleans?
Nolans.
Oh, NOLA. That's what they say now. Okay. I feel like you're a little far away,
Okay.
but let me see if it's my volume. Bop, ba-da-da, bop, bop,
Volume.
bop, ba-da, ba-da, bop, bop. All right. Are we ready?
I'm ready. So,
I am as well.
this is a story that I picked, everybody. Um,
Hallelujah.
Mostly because I don't think I knew the whole story. I feel like I might have heard I don't know. But a couple 2, 3 years ago, I think it was a long time ago actually. It was
Mhm.
2022.
Don't say a long time ago for 3 years, 4
I don't know.
years.
Netflix had a limited series called Blackbird,
Mhm.
and that's how I learned of the majority of the story and then looked into it. And I might have heard a little bit about this killer here and there, but I did not know the story until I saw the Blackbird series.
I knew nothing about this story.
Okay.
I also haven't seen Blackbird because I don't have Apple TV.
Yeah, it's an Apple TV one.
I'm looking
Um,
forward to watching it if you have
so
Apple
I
TV.
put Netflix as our sources, but it wasn't. It was Blackbird. It's on Apple
Okay.
TV.
It is.
So the other source I have is Mr. Donnie Wahlberg. He's the narrator
Did
for
you interview
Very
him?
Scary People.
Oh, okay.
Oh, oh yeah. There's a bunch of
So,
seasons.
I also listened to hang on, I don't wanna mess
Wait,
up
so
because I
Very
didn't
Scary People was season
go.
5, episode 5 and 6, and he was called the Twin Killer.
Okay, and I listened to That's So Fucked Up with Ashley
Yeah.
Love
Mhm.
Richards and Michelle. It's a podcast, and that was it was the episode from September 9th, 2022.
Mm.
Sorry.
So this story kind of starts with a missing college student.
Mhm.
19-year-old Trisha Reitler goes missing from Indiana Wesleyan campus around 8 o'clock on March 29th, 1993. She walks from her dorm on campus to the Marsh supermarket, which is like half a mile away, to get a soda and a magazine, and she was walking back to the dorm, Bowman Hall, but never made it back.
Do you remember when getting magazines was the shit?
Yeah,
Like,
I do.
People was just the best.
Mhm.
And all the quizzes, oh my
Mhm.
god, they could tell you it was like therapy on paper.
I loved the
Do you wanna
crossword at the
know
back.
Yeah, do
Loved
you
it.
wanna know why you can't keep a man? Take this quiz. Do you wanna know I mean, they literally were like, "We will tell you what is wrong. Take this
Yeah.
quiz."
Yeah.
I would take that shit 3 or 4 times trying to get a different answer.
So when she doesn't come back, everyone's on high alert because she had been reporting that there was a van following her when she would go running. This happened multiple times and all of that. They start searching. Her clothes are found covered in blood. An earring that it appeared was ripped from her ear. It wasn't like,
Mhm.
yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
Flyers go up, massive search of the area. They don't find anything more. The police at that time had a suspect. His name was Tony Searcy. He was known to the police. He might have been a good suspect because they say he failed a couple polygraph things, and there were cadaver dogs that hit on his truck. So the police liked him. He was a known criminal, but he had no history of violence. He stole copper out of buildings and stuff like that.
There's a lot of money in copper.
Yeah. So
Can I
apparently,
also tell you just hang on 1 second? My buzz is so good that I thought your line said he hit a cadaver dog with his truck. And it's at 14 on font,
whoa.
and it's at 125%, so this is gonna be a good one,
And
guys.
she's mixing up the words.
That's
So
gonna be good.
apparently, copper gives a similar enzyme as it's like sitting as a decomposed body would.
Mm,
And they say he was stealing copper, then he would put the copper in his car, and they think that's ultimately what the dogs might have been hitting on.
interesting.
They really don't have any good evidence. He's never charged, and Trisha's missing. Like,
Mm,
what the
Trish.
fuck? Another suspect came to the attention of the Marion County cops,
Mhm.
Larry Hall. They questioned him. They thought he was kind of weird. And he, like, if you watch any of the things or listen to any interviews or anything, he's kind of
I
weird.
did. His
You can
mutton
tell that,
chops are legit.
yeah, you can kind of tell that he's got a low IQ. He's not quite with you, right?
Did you hear why?
Yeah,
Like, you know the
it's in
story of
here.
why? Oh,
It's in
god,
here.
I can't wait.
Oh, yeah. So they call the
It's not funny.
Wabash, I know. They call the Marion County cops call the Wabash, Indiana cops where Larry lives.
Mhm,
And one of the detectives is like his kind of cheerleader. And they're like,
mhm,
he's like, Larry's harmless. He just is an attention seeker. He's kind of weird. He always confesses to stuff or says he does stuff because he wants the attention,
mhm.
but he's harmless. He's not your guy.
Crazy old Larry.
They ask Larry all the questions. They even ask him to show them where he found Trisha, like where did he follow her, like all the things. He like leads them around all over the place, Marion County, and they get nothing. And they're like, okay, he's just one of those guys who likes to confess to shit. He didn't do this, and they cut him loose. And that was that. Now this was March of 1993. September 23rd, 1993, 6
Mhm,
months later,
mhm.
15-year-old Jessica Roach
Oh,
goes
baby.
missing, yeah, in Georgetown, Illinois.
I didn't even know we had a
I
Georgetown.
know, cornfields everywhere for miles.
Everywhere.
Her older sister was driving down the road. There's cornfields on either side, and she saw Jessica walking her bike. It was like gravel. So she's walking the bike. She waves at her. She drives to the end of the road, makes a left turn,
Dear
goes
God,
about,
no.
yeah, goes about her errands, whatever. And then as she's
Ugh,
coming back half an hour or so later, she turns onto that same road and Jessica's bike is laying in the middle of the road.
I just can't even imagine that poor sister.
They start searching everywhere. 3 days, they're searching, searching, they don't find anything. And then Detective Gary Miller is the guy leading the investigation and assigned. November 8th, a farmer out in his cornfield finds a body and calls the cops. Initially, they're thinking it's Trisha Reitler
Mhm.
because she's still missing, right?
Right, right, right.
But the body is identified as Jessica and she was strangled. So now Gary Miller, the detective, isn't just looking for a kid, he's investigating a murder. They did have a witness who came forward after the body was found, who said the day that she went missing, that night, that evening,
Mhm,
he
mhm.
saw a guy walking out of the cornfields around that time, getting into a van and driving off. But at the time, there was no crime committed, like nobody was looking for anybody. He didn't think anything of it.
Can I tell you something? I'm
Hmm.
gonna pause you. I heard this exact thing on the documentary that I saw.
Mm-hmm.
It got me really like, when you're like, "Oh, we should do little episodes of what keeps you up at night." It got me thinking of what I would do if I saw like, let's just picture we're driving in a
Hmm.
street, going to the campground. There's
Yeah.
nothing but cornfields,
Yeah.
and you see a man with no farm vehicles just
Mm-hmm.
walking out and going to a van.
Hmm.
My brain is immediately going to speed up to the safest speed that you can get while still speeding and get
Mm-hmm.
us to the nearest fucking place with public people everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, because in my brain, that guy's gonna be like, "Oh,
A witness.
what'd you just see there?" "Well, I'm
So
about to come after you."
I don't know if I have a lack of self preservation, but my first thought as you described that scenario was I need to get one of those big old fucking halogen headlight things on my
Dear
car
God,
so I could turn
sister.
that bitch on and like shine it
No!
in his face and and zoom
I don't
and keep
want that
rolling by.
man knowing anything about me.
Like, I want to see
No,
it all. Okay.
no.
So
I
the
am going to
case
save myself.
so the case kind of goes cold. They don't have a suspect. Trisha's still missing, but Detective Miller is working Jessica's case every day.
Okay, so now we're in March of 1994. So
A
you had just
full
had us.
year later.
Well, you had us in
Well, 6
September of
months
19
later.
yeah, you had
Yeah.
us in September. We are now in March. There is a report of a man stalking 2 young girls. They tell their dad, who calls the police, and the cops find him and pull him over. Now this is they know him as Larry.
Mhm.
They can see in his van that he's got rope, a hunting knife, cotton, and a lighter fluid. So apparently if you soak the fabric with lighter fluid and hold it over someone's face, they can pass out. So is that
My
his
god.
homemade chloroform?
That's his homemade
He's like,
chloroform.
"Hey, guess what oh my god, that's huffing.
Yeah.
You kinda gotta do that for a long time." I I huffed when I was, like when I was very young. You have to hold that for a long time.
Yeah.
It's gross. It's really
Yeah.
fucking gross. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Ugg and all the Uggs. He also
Mhm.
has a missing persons flyer for Trisha and newspaper clippings.
He's got a
Gross.
fucking murder kit
He's got him.
and
Yes.
newspaper clippings.
Sis,
He's
he
got
has the murder
souvenirs.
he has the kit and the souvenirs.
What the fuck?
He's brought in for questioning. He says he dreamed about her, that he takes them out and then he takes them out and drives in circles. Now the cops are getting pissed because they feel like he's just jerking them around. They call a detective in the Wabash County area who tells them
His
he's
cheerleader
his
again.
cheerleader he's just a weird guy, he's harmless, he's not your guy. Um, they got the impression that this was a false confession guy, so they cut him loose.
He has a murder kit in a van
A
and
murder kit.
souvenirs, and they cut him loose.
Yes.
I'm sorry, can you explain
So,
that?
well, I can maybe in the podcast That's Fucked Up, they said that his IQ was 1 point away from being,
Developmentally disabled, maybe?
disabled. Yes.
Okay.
So, maybe he could be considered to be challenged,
Just
and that's
because
why
he's
they're
challenged
just
doesn't mean he's not
No,
dangerous.
I know. Eric's cousin works with disabled children, like, mentally disabled children. She
Mhm.
was assaulted at work. She's been assaulted at more times than I could say,
They will get bigger than you eventually.
and that is yes. But they
Anyway.
need a place to go to. They need a place to go. Okay. So now we're at May. So they cut him loose. Bye. Have a good time. Take your kit and your lighter fluid. Don't burn anyone. In May of 1994, a van comes up on 2 young girls again.
Always.
And it keeps passing them, passing them, passing them. They got scared and took off on their bikes, and the van followed them. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Fucking no. They went down an alley, too small for the van to follow. Go girls. And they
Yeah.
get away. What? This guy, but they say the guy, they remembered his weird facial hair. This is
Mhm.
a telling feature. I love weird facial hair.
Yeah.
Hall had big old fancy mutton chop sideburns.
So you know how we call them sideburns and mutton chops, right?
Yeah.
There was a part in the movie, in the miniseries, where they talked about his sideburns, but they called them burn sides. And
I heard that.
apparently,
I heard
that's
that.
the right way to say it is burn sides. And I was like, look, I don't live in the fucking 1865. I don't know what the right way to say it is. Okay.
So you have it. I see you have it in here. He got those because of that reenactment thing that
Yeah.
he got
One
good
of
at.
the things
I'm
that
gonna.
they
All
do.
right. All right. All right. Hang on. I'm gonna
Yeah.
fill you all in. Okay. So now this is May.
Mm hmm.
They remember Hall,
Mm
but
hmm.
he's guys. He's
They don't,
fine.
they don't know
He's
who
fine.
They don't know who the guy with the weird facial hair is. They just remembered the facial hair, but they didn't.
1994 gigantic mutton chops.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and say not everyone has them. You might be able to pick him out of a lineup.
Probably so, yes.
Probably so.
Probably so.
Fast forward to November of 1994. Guess who had graduated from high school?
Oh.
I was working downtown. This is a year since Jessica had been found. Okay.
Mhm.
There's another report of a man stalking girls in a van, but now it's in Georgetown. Again, we didn't know Georgetown, Illinois existed, but it's here. We're
Yes.
there now. Where Detective Miller is working to find Jessica's killer. And this time they got the plate number. So we got the van, we got the kids, we got the plate.
Yep.
It comes back one Larry Mutton Choppin' House Hall. Sorry.
Chopping house.
Detective Miller calls Wabash cops. And again, they give him the same story. His mutton chops are not a problem. He loves them. He's harmless. We know the barber who gives him the mutton chops. Am I even saying that right? Mutton chops?
I think
I don't
so.
even know if that's the right way. Mutton chops.
I think so.
Mutton.
Mutton.
Okay.
Mutton.
And he says, but he's got those mutton chop houses because he does Civil War and Revolutionary War reenactments. He has to have them.
He has to have them, God damn it.
Leave his mutton chops alone.
Oh, no.
So Detective Miller does some detecting. He says, he gets a little comb and he's going to scurry through those little mutton chops.
Yep.
And he finds that there was a permit pulled for a Revolutionary War reenactment July 19th of 1993, a day before Jessica goes missing.
Interesting.
Now, yes, we can place mutton chops and his van in their town when Jessica goes missing. I don't know if that's what they're called.
You're never going to be able to say anything except butt sides.
Burnsides.
So Detective Miller goes to Indiana to question Larry.
Go,
Larry
girl.
immediately has a kind of visceral reaction when Detective Miller puts Jessica's picture in front of him that, to a seasoned detective, indicates he knew her. He knows something. There's something there. It's enough that Detective Miller isn't done with Larry, and he comes back 10 days later for
With a new clipper. Oh,
a second interview. And this time he
I'm
brought
going to take those mutton chops.
and this time he brought the FBI polygrapher with him
And a barber.
and a barber.
I'm done
So
now.
the case had become federal because Jessica was abducted from Illinois but found in Perrysville, Indiana. There's no proof of where she was killed, but you could assume she might have been abducted from Illinois and killed in Indiana, which makes it a federal case.
Federal offense.
So Detective Miller has the FBI on his side.
There he goes.
The killer says he thought after this, the polygrapher goes and talks to him and he fails miserably and all the things. But he just confesses to the polygraph guy. He says he thought Jessica was a dream. He describes the scene to a T, like he
No.
had to be there.
No.
Then he says he didn't have time to bury her and he always buries them. What? Bury them? How many are there?
Yeah,
Wait,
them.
what? Then he starts talking about other things in other murders. The thing in Marion, there were things that they held back, and he describes things, a broken
See,
zipper
No.
on Trisha's jeans. Then he starts talking about other girls in Anderson, Indiana, in Indianapolis, and they're like, "Holy fucking shit!
Holy
This
fucking
guy's
shit.
this guy's a fucking serial killer."
Serial. And we know that
He's-
term now in the 90s. Thank you very
Yes.
much.
He signs the confession. The killer signs like they write it all up. He signs the confession and then he recants a day later to 3 days later, whatever. But once he signs the confession, they can at least search his van and home. They don't find any good physical evidence, but they do find a journal in the van with dates and notes about what things he should have on hand, like his kill kit, what
Mhm.
chemicals he'll need to clean things up to get rid of bodily fluids.
Jesus Christ.
He had worked as a janitor and he had the knowledge, like in a school, vomit,
I
whatever.
was just going to say, was he a janitor in a fucking high school?
He knew how to
Probably.
get rid of biological evidence.
With all the young children, all the young people that he needed.
So then they're like, is Larry the real deal? Or is he just a guy with a low IQ that's going to confess to things to get attention?
All right. Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that.
Larry and his twin brother Gary,
Oh my
because that's
gosh.
cute, were born in Wabash, Indiana. Their father was a gravedigger at an old cemetery. The parents were hoarders, okay?
Yeah.
And it's said that their father was a drunk and violent and that the mother was affectionately smothering.
Do you
So,
love
like,
that? I
I
love
do.
that.
I love a good, weird, affectionate mother.
Mm, like weird. Like the kid is 16 and she's like, "Oh, come here, baby. Put your head on my breast." Weird. Weird.
I I
Ew.
wanna remain silent right now.
Ew.
Okay. So, there are stories that he wet the bed.
Mhm.
He was arrested for starting buildings on fire.
Like
Little
like they had
pyromania,
pictures.
just little pyromania. And at one time, the family had over 300 rabbits. Uh, Rabbit coats? I don't know,
I
not
don't
sure
know.
why.
I don't know.
One morning, they were all 300 were dead. That's a lot of rabbits to die.
He killed all the rabbits.
Do we know this? They said he had all 3 of the MacDonald triad.
McDonald triad.
MacDonald? Whatever. So I heard a story that his dad was fired from his grave digging job because he was putting the wrong is this in
Putting the
there?
wrong I heard that. Putting the wrong people in the wrong graves.
And I as soon
But
as
he
I
was
heard it
also stealing from like,
well,
he
as
would
soon as I
relieve
heard
them
that,
of
I was
their
like,
jewelry.
I am terrible with names and faces. It's literally like it's my number one thing when people are like, "Can you tell me your one weakness?" I'd be like, "Yes, names and faces.
How many
100%.
people were dying at once that there were multiple open graves?
Lots." When was this,
Apparently.
1994?
I
Who
don't know.
knows? Whatever. No, 80s. Oh, there it is. His 80s were getting away with everything. He was like, "Digger, digger, brr," and next, and then he would just pop them in there. All right. So apparently, this is what happened, guys. Are we all listening up? This is how Larry became Larry of the Mutton Chop House syndrome. He was a result of a twin pregnancy where Gary got all of the resources. So it's like when there's two twins and one twin tries to eat the other twin,
Yeah.
Gary tried to eat Larry.
Yeah.
And but
And he won.
literally he
And he
won.
won.
He like so there were stories that Gary was taller
Mhm.
and more physically fit,
Like he looked
smarter,
normal. Yeah.
more charismatic, and
Mhm.
then you have poor Larry who had barely an IQ of normal. He was short, he had
Mhm.
terrible rosacea that he tried with the mutton chopping house haircut. So, that's how that happened. I'm glad you included that.
Yes.
Larry and his not quite twin brother Gary were all into the reenactments. So they like to do the
Mhm.
Civil War and all that stuff. They traveled
Mhm.
all over the Midwest and as far as Wyoming to do
Mhm.
their Civil War reenactments. I know there are people who love that. I think I kind of want to see one.
I think I liked
I
it.
think I
They
kind of
did
want to see it. You
so
saw one?
the fair in
God
Lockport,
damn it. Of course you did.
the Lockport days, they go into Delwood Park and they do reenactments and they have the cannons and everything.
Wait, are you talking about like Riverwalk days?
I don't r it's the Lockport Fair days in June
Hmm.
in Lockport, and
I'm going to
they
keep an
do
eye
all
on
the
that.
things. They have, like, a settlement situation where they have everyone in costume, and they're, like, doing the iron with the all the stuff, making
Oh,
things. Yeah.
all the
It
stuff.
was really cool.
Okay.
I haven't been there in a while, but yeah.
Maybe I'll go this year. If anybody wants to come with me, just let me know. Apparently, they were both extras in a movie, Glory and Gettysburg.
So you remember Glory was with Matthew Broderick?
No.
Okay, it was a Civil War movie, and it had Matthew
Perfect.
Broderick, and I
Heard.
don't remember who was in Gettysburg. People are gonna yell at me. It might have been Matthew McConaughey.
Got it.
And apparently in one or the other of the movies, because they were extras, there's
Uh-huh.
one frame where you can kinda see a portion of Gary. but you can't see Larry anywhere in any
God
of
damn it, you
as
can't
an
even see him
extra.
as an
Not even in
extra?
that. Not even in that.
Oh, God. Nope, not feeling sorry for Larry. No, I am not. No, I am not. Larry is in his Gary shadows at every turn. Even in the alphabet, G becomes before L. Becomes. Oh my God, this is I need to stop. All right. So they eventually get Larry to take a polygraph, and he, shocker, fails.
He shat
He's
the bed on
eventually,
that one.
yeah, he shot. I love that. He is eventually charged with Jessica's murder and a nationwide and nope, and
And nationwide.
detectives are seeing similarities between what they
Now
now
no.
know. Fuck, it's getting rough. About Larry Hall and unsolved cases in their areas. So they found some cases that they think are related to him.
I have him at the end.
You have them at the end. Thank
Yeah.
God.
We'll talk about them at the end because they're
My
not
eyes are
confirmed.
crossing
Okay.
as I drink more.
So now we're May 23rd, 1995. He's on trial. The defense in this case was a coerced confession. He has a low IQ. The first trial
Mhm.
is 8 days. The verdict is guilty.
I
There's an appeal, and the appeals court agreed. So now there's a new trial. So he files the appeal, and the appeals court agrees with the defense, and he gets a new trial.
whatever.
August 1997 is the next trial.
Mhm.
There's an expert on coerced confession and false confession.
Mhm.
There was an issue with what they call a personality disorder that makes him eager to please and susceptible to suggestion. And there's a real possibility that he could win the appeal and be released.
That's not great.
So this jury agrees with the first jury and he's convicted again. He doesn't get right?
Yay!
But I don't know how many fucking appeals they're allowed, but
A
apparently they get
lot.
another one.
They get maybe we can ask our
Oh my God.
new friend Nicole. If you could tell us how many appeals they get, we would really, really appreciate it.
Good Lord.
Mhm.
So while they're waiting for this appeal,
Mhm.
enter Jimmy Keene.
Oh my God. I am so happy that I saw the documentary that I
Hmm.
saw. What the fuck was it? You keep talking, I'm gonna look it up.
So this is what the Blackbird miniseries is based on.
Yes.
Jimmy Keene is a young guy in early 90s who gets in trouble selling drugs. But everyone that has ever met him talks about how kind he is, how he can just get people to talk to him, how he has this charisma about him that just makes you want to open up and have a conversation with him. He's that guy.
Mhm. Uh-huh.
He's that guy.
Mhm.
He's doing what he thought they told him was if you plead guilty, you're going to get a 5-year sentence and you'll be out in 2 years. And for some reason, they throw the book at him, literally, and he gets 10
Do you
fucking
wanna know
years
why?
with no parole.
Do you wanna know why?
Hmm,
I know why.
why?
Because they tried to get him to roll on the higher ups of the drug dealers,
Oh,
and he would not, and they said so because he wouldn't help them with anything higher, they wanted to
oh,
ensure that he got the maximum sentence. Okay, so the documentary that I watched was Larry Hall serial killer documentary, complete,
uh,
the best documentary ever. Cash Chooster 3958, and it's
okay,
called Serial Killers.
okay.
It was on YouTube. It was a lot of Jesse what is his name? Jimmy Keene.
Yeah,
It's a lot of Jimmy Keene.
yeah.
He made an impression on me.
He's got
He
that
made
way
an
about
impression he
Lisa, if
This is
he
why
was
they put him in there. I was like, "Hey, hi what? Hey, hi.
hey, hey, hey,
Hey. Hi,
hey,
Jimmy? What?
hi.
How old are you?"
If he was
"My
running a
age."
church and a cult, I might fall for it.
Drug dealer? That's where I'm going. I like him way better as a drug dealer. And he said he had lots of drugs and lots of parties and lots of people, and that's the Jimmy that I was like, "Yes, I'll know that
Okay.
Jimmy. You go join
Okay.
your cult, I'll go join Jimmy in a pool."
So he gets 10 years when he wasn't
Yes,
anticipating 10 years.
correct.
And the FBI, for whatever reason, he comes to their radar as this charismatic guy who can get people to talk. And they basically give him an option. They're like, you work for us, you get close to this guy, you get him to tell you where Trisha is
Mhm.
or anything incriminating so that he cannot appeal and get out of prison to kill more people. And we will let you out. We will
So
just let you out.
it was the prosecutor that
Yes.
that
Oh, that's
prosecuted him
right.
that said,
Yes.
"Hey, let's use this guy. He's great.
Yes. Yes.
Let's get him." And what they told him was, "If no body, no deal."
No deal. Yeah.
Okay.
So they go in there, they tell Jimmy this, whatever. And in the series, I have to assume that this was like a verbatim thing, but in the
Mhm.
series, the actor Taron Egerton, who I love, he's so cute.
I saw the real Jimmy.
He's adorable too.
Okay.
But anyway, he says, "So let me get this straight. You want me to voluntarily
Mhm.
check myself into hell,
Right.
shimmy up to a demon,
Boom.
and be like, bruh, where are the
Bruh.
bodies?"
Yes. 100%.
And I
He's
was like,
in minimum
"What?"
he's low risk, minimum
Yes,
security, and they're like, "You're gonna go high risk, maximum security,
where the
serial
crazies are.
killers, where the
Yeah.
crazies are, and but you gotta get body or nothing," and he's like, but
And
so did you know
only
why
the
he did it?
warden only the warden and the psychologist, on staff knew that he was there to do this. Everybody else knew nothing about him, that he was
Right.
an arms dealer.
Do
So
you know why he did it?
in the series, it was because he read the file and he was like, "This guy can't leave."
In the documentary, from his mouth, he says his father had suffered from a stroke.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
his father was the driving factor in his whole life, like, the reason that he played sports. He was apparently a big sports guy and was
Mhm.
like the Friday Night Lights guy, and everybody
Mhm,
knew
mhm,
him, and that's how he got
mhm,
into drug dealing. He said his father was at every single one of his games. His father was his biggest promoter,
mhm.
always encouraging him, and his father had a stroke, and his
Yeah.
family was like, "Oh my god, it really sucks that you're not able to be here." So he was thinking, I need to he said, "Redemption, yes, 110%. I'm gonna make right what I did so wrong, and also
Mhm,
maybe see my dad before
mhm.
he dies."
Do you know who plays his dad in the series?
I can't wait.
Ray Liotta.
Yes.
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 Yes. Do you have Apple TV?
Yes.
You sign me in when you're here.
Oh,
Y
that's a good
Yeah.
idea. I'll
You
bring it with
sign me
me.
in. You sign me
Okay.
in, I'll watch it. Okay.
Okay. Done.
Okay.
All right. So he agrees if he's successful, he'll go free, no 10 years. He says yes, especially after reading the case file and because his father was ill, blah, blah, blah.
No.
In the Blackbird series, it's a lot more of Jimmy's predicament
Mhm.
than most other things and how scary and awful it was to be where he was. Jimmy befriends the killer, and Hall eventually starts giving incriminating details to Jimmy, who in turn gave that info to the FBI and the prosecutor Beaumont. The details that he told him were things only the killer could have known. Now, Jimmy's impression was this guy is guilty as fuck. He is not a low IQ, innocent guy. He is
Can
guilty as fuck.
Can I tell you what Jimmy told me from his own mouth in the
Yeah, what'd he
documentary?
say?
Okay,
What'd he
so
say?
Jimmy says that he was in there, he met up with him, he saw him,
Mhm.
and he's like, "So I know that I gotta get this guy." Like, Jimmy's a big football guy, like,
Yeah.
he's an arms dealer. So he says he walks up to him and he's like, "Hey, man, you know where I can find the library?" And Larry's like, "Oh, yeah, let me show you." And he takes him over there. So then, like, it's a couple weeks go by and, he's like, "Oh, you're in this cell?" He's like, "A cool dude like you?" He's like, "I can handle that." So he starts, like, like like boosting him up.
Yeah.
And he's okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. He's a handsome guy. Okay. So he's big, he's buff, he's handsome, he's
Yeah.
charismatic as fuck. That's why they wanted him.
Yeah.
And he's now talking to the almost eaten twin Larry. And Larry's like, I could
In
handle this.
Chophausen.
Mutton chop house and Jerry, Larry, whatever. So he says the turning point was that there was a guy watching America's Most, or they were all watching America's Most
Oh,
Wanted
I
in the
remember this.
prison
Yes.
TV room, and a
Yes.
big biker guy went over and turned it off, and Larry was like, "Man, that's my favorite show. I was watching that show." And Jimmy went over there and, like, boom, kicked the guy, turned
Mhm.
fucking America's Most Wanted back on, and was put in not the brig, what is it called? Solitary. Fine,
Solitary.
fine, solitary confinement it is.
Mhm.
And that's how he won his trust.
'Cause he
Now,
stuck up for him or
from
something.
literally Gary's mouth in this documentary, he says he thought he blew the case because as Larry started confessing these things to him,
Mhm.
Jimmy lost it and was like, "Fuck you.
Yeah,
You're a
yeah, yeah.
sick fuck. I don't," and he's like, "I just couldn't handle what he was telling me that he did to these women,"
Mhm.
and he thought he lost it. So
Yeah.
that's where I left off with, like, Jimmy's trying to make his right wrong. They ended up Did you already cover this? They ended up giving him his early parole.
Not yet. So
Shit.
the killer describes that he would get the victim in his van. He would put the lighter fluid rag over her mouth, and then he would, quote, float up out of his body and watch himself killing the victim. Then
Okay.
he would wake up and the victim is naked and dead, and he's naked, and he'd be like, I did it again.
Yeah,
So it's
okay.
like he's claiming this disassociative
Mhm.
state or whatever. The killer claims he didn't kill anyone, but the evil side of him killed those girls. And then it comes out that because his father had been a cemetery keeper, Larry had been digging graves since he was a little kid. Like his
Mhm.
dad would drag him out there and make him do the work. That's how he was able to bury them, and they've never been able to find them.
Oh,
'Cause he
no.
knew how to dig, right? Like, we talked about this, you go out there to
It's
start
hard.
digging,
Yeah,
and
it's
it's fucking
hard.
hard. And he even talks about in one of the interviews about how you have to find the right soil and this and
Right.
that, and he knew what to look for that would make it easy to build these graves. And when he killed Jessica, he couldn't find the right place quickly, and he had to leave, and he left her in the field.
Which brings us to a map that the killer had drawn that had all of the central states in Illinois, Indiana, Missouri, Wisconsin. They were all marked with red dots. So he's got this map, he's got his red dots,
Mhm,
and he said they were graves. Now, this is what I
mhm.
saw in the documentary
Yeah,
Jimmy said he saw. They
great.
think the map had been destroyed once Hall figured out that Jimmy was the plant, because he
Mhm.
says when he told him all of this, that he said, whatever the detective's name was, so and so sent you, so and so sent you.
Beaumont. Beaumont
Beaumont
sent
sent you.
you.
Beaumont sent you. So then the appeals court decision comes back, and thank God it is upheld, and he ain't going. Where are you going? There.
You ain't going nowhere.
Nowhere.
Now this part I threw in for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh no. In subsequent interviews, he claims to
Mhm.
have killed the Springfield 3. These were the 3 women that were taken from their home. They were
Missouri.
yes, they were in a brown van,
Remember there was that talk about this brown van that was
or
parked across the street,
was it brown or green? Thought it was
whatever,
green.
but there
Whatever
was like an
van.
old
Yes.
van, right? And
Yes.
then they were talking about, oh, there was someone working on the lines and this and that. Yeah. And then there was a Civil War reenactment the
Oh.
weekend that the women went missing.
Does anybody else know this, or just you and me?
I just came across it in all of this stuff that he claimed to have killed them. There was a sighting of a van which he drove. There was a
Mm.
Civil War reenactment at the time that they went missing, so he could have been in the area. And he
When we covered this,
claims
did we talk about him in this?
no, no, no.
Shit.
And then he claims that he buried them in Mark Twain Forest. but they've never been found.
But we know that he knows how to bury a body.
But exactly.
So he knows the
And
tools to use, how
and
long it'll take.
how many times he was clocked tracking 2 girls, so it doesn't stretch the imagination that he could have gotten 3 girls to
Well, but
follow,
if
you
the
know what I
2
mean?
girls were the ones that were at the party and they went home to their house,
That's who he was
that's
tracking.
who he was tracking, and then it just so happens that their mom was there.
I'm telling you,
I'm very uncomfortable right now.
all the
Mm.
way back around, sister. So these are a few of the cases that he confessed to and then recanted. And some of the interviews say that it was his brother Gary who, in visiting him and like kind of prodding him and whatever, got him to make these confessions.
Mhm.
That's what some people said. 19-year-old Paulette Sue Webster was last seen walking home from a friend's house in Chester, Illinois, 11 o'clock on September 2nd, 1988. She's never been seen again. Authorities initially believed that she left of her own accord, but foul play is now suspected in her case. In 2011, Hall sent a letter to an author, Christopher Martin, a Wabash native who wrote a book about Hall, in which he claimed responsibility for Webster's murder. He claimed Paulette was taken from the main east and west roads through Chester near a mobile park home. He then claimed he took Paulette to a remote location where she was kept and assaulted for several hours, and then Hall either threw her in the Mississippi River or buried her. Hall wrote, "If I did it, I would have put her in a river or in a field." And then he
Mm-mm-mm.
recants. July 1st, 1991, Michelle Lee Dewey, a 20-year-old single mother, was found strangled in her second-floor apartment on South Downey Avenue in the Irvington section of Indianapolis. Her 18-month-old son was in a back bedroom with the door wedged shut, and he was unharmed. Hall's twin brother Gary claimed that Larry had confessed to killing Dewey. Hall had visited Indianapolis that day after seeing an advertisement for a Dodge van, and authorities suspect that Hall had spotted Dewey sunbathing in the backyard.
Can I say this one sounds a little like a confession that he
Mhm.
was trying, like, it doesn't sound like the rest of them at all.
I know.
But I don't know, I don't know.
I don't know.
Lori Jean
They say Deppies.
Hayes, age 22, was seen entering her gray 1984 Volkswagen at the Fox River Mall in Grand Chute, Wisconsin. Shoot.
Shoot.
On August 19th, 1992, at approximately 10 p.m. That's kind of late to be
Yeah,
leaving.
Lisa, that was when you were getting out of Carson Perry
I know, I
Scott and
know, I
taking the
know.
bus home.
I know. She arrived at her boyfriend's apartment complex in the 300 block of West Wilson Avenue in Menashaw between approximately 10:15 and 10:30 p.m. Deppie's boyfriend had been waiting in his apartment for his sister and a friend with his sister and a friend.
Mhm.
They heard her car pull up in the lot and then went out to look for her when she didn't come into the apartment. So they heard her and they're like, "Where the fuck is she?" And they went out. They found her locked vehicle in the complex parking lot. The hood was found to have had styrofoam soda cups on it, and Deppie's purse and overnight bag were still inside.
Like, she set her cup on the
Cup
fucking
on
hood,
top.
went to reach in and get her bag, and
Mhm.
this fucktard was waiting.
In 2010, Hall, who was first identified as a suspect in the disappearance in 1995,
Mhm.
admitted to abducting and murdering her.
Hmm.
Investigators searched the area where Hall said he had buried Deppie's?
I think it's Deppies.
But they were unable to locate either her body or any other tangible proof of his claim.
In the coming years, he confessed to 22 murders, but then would recant all the confessions. His brother Gary says in interviews he believes Larry is 100% responsible for a majority of those. Some investigators believe he could be responsible for 50 or more murders. The following are some stories that when the detectives found him and charged him, that other detectives were like, "Oh, I have one. I have one. I have one that all
Is he
fits."
still in prison?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
On June 28th, 19-year-old Naomi Lee Kidder left Buffalo, Wyoming with several friends en route to Rawlins, Wyoming. They stayed at the Travel Lodge until June 29th, 1982, when Kidder left to go hitchhiking. This was the last time she was seen alive. Kidder's nude remains were found in Natrona County on September 10th, 1982, in what appeared to be a partially dug grave. She was not identified until March 10th of 93 through dental records. Her cause of death was ligature strangulation. Hall is considered a viable suspect because a document bearing Kidder's name was found in his possession after his arrest. September 6, 1986, the body of a young woman was found nude, strangled, and sexually mutilated a day after her death in a cornfield near Summerfield, Illinois. Again, Summerfield, Illinois. Never heard of
I
it.
mean, no.
The unidentified woman was referred to by detectives as the Summerfield Jane Doe and was buried in the Mount Hope Cemetery under a gravestone that said Jane Doe, known only to God. In 2007, the woman's body was identified as being 26-year-old Eulalia Mylia Lally Chavez, after fingerprints from an arrest record were matched to her. After confessing to Chavez's murder to a St. Louis television reporter via a letter, Hall became a suspect. DNA evidence at the crime scene proved to be inconclusive against Hall's DNA.
Linda Len Weldy, age 10, disappeared
Baby.
in February of 1987 after she was dropped off by her school bus near her home on McClung Road in LaPorte, Indiana at about
God,
3:30 p.m.
it sounds,
It's
oh my God.
Her body was found 3 weeks later on March 17th along an abandoned railroad track 9 miles away from where she was last seen. This would be on County Road 500 South near Kingsbury. She
Mm-hmm.
had been manually strangled. According to investigators, Hull was in the area at the time.
Mm,
So this is 1987. This
mm-hmm.
is before his 1990s rage. Was he
Mm-hmm.
just not burying them at this point? I
I
mean,
mean,
was he literally getting away with this at this point?
he could have been operating for over a decade.
At around 2 p.m. on June 4th, 1987, 16-year-old Wendy Louise Felton stayed home in Marion, Indiana. When her older sister drove past their parents partway to an airport for a business trip that afternoon, what?
Her older sister drove the parents to the
There it
airport for a
is.
business trip.
Okay. When
And
she
then when the
returned
sister returned
home,
home.
okay,
Okay.
when she returned home at 5 p.m., she found that Felton was gone. All her belongings were left behind in her bedroom. Felton's home was less than 25 miles from Wabash, which is where Hall lived at the time and is located only a few miles away from a reenactment site, here we go again, that
Mhm.
he often visited. Detectives have not ruled out Hall as a suspect. Hall is currently serving life without the possibility of parole in federal correctional complex in North Carolina. Why
And
North Carolina?
hopefully, I think because it's federal, it doesn't have to
Ah,
stay in the same state.
got it. Got it.
Maximum security federal, it could be
So that's
anywhere.
a lot.
That's just a few where he's considered a viable suspect. Then there are the ones he confessed to and recanted, but they've never
So,
proven.
okay, so do
And
you get away
Trisha's
with
still
murder
missing.
and Trisha's still missing? I saw the interview with her parents. Her parents are just beyond devastated. Beyond devastated. I don't know how old that was, but her parents were still alive and still looking very much still looking for her.
Watch Blackbird, guys. Jimmy Keen's the shit.
I'm gonna watch it when you come over,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna go get a big glass of water.
Thanks you all for listening.
Thanks, everyone.
See you next week.
Oh, you gotta say it
Oh, roll up your fucking windows.
all the way up.
And in this instance, really, dude, don't park next to any fucking vans. Don't even go
If you
anywhere near
see
them.
a
Don't
van,
go
just
near.
drive
Just
away.
go away.
Run
Run.
and do like this. Come on, George. Let's go. Okay, bye.
Bye. Executive produced by me, Marie Abinante, and my sister, Lisa Linsner.
Music by John Bartman, track Shooter on the Roof. Cover art by the talented and beautiful Alexis Guerrero.
And all of this is possible editing and recording using Riverside.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Bye.